Hi, students. Okay, so part 14, I think we are on now, and I'm taking a look at the roof. So I want to get that roof structure sorted before we go at any of the cladding going on here. So get the main structure up. So we've got three areas of roof here. We've got the upper, the middle, and the lower down here. And my understanding from Olivia is that this is going to be a green roof. Those areas there. So what I've done first of all is I've gone looking for a green roof family, and Bauder are a German company, very well known, very well respected in the green roof uh, um, area. Okay, so I was able to get this extensive green roof system from the UK BIM library. So I just put in Bowder Green Roof, and the search it brought me to there, and I was able to download this. Now, obviously, if you're not already signed up to the NBS BIM library, then that's something that you need to do. Put in your name and your student address, email address. That gives you access. And the good thing about the NBS BIM library is that these are extensively checked and validated families. So you're not going to have a problem. Now, that's just an illustration. This is the actual family here. See it? Okay. But if you go into the edit type, and into the edit structure here. Now, basically, that's it's giving you is the different layers here more than anything else, and then obviously all the information that travels with those layers, and I'll show you that in a second. So you got layers below and layers above. So you got your vegetation, you got your fleece, you got your corrugated boards, you got your plastic sheets, and then that sits on top of whatever roof structure that you have. In our case, it's going to be a 300 mil in situ cast again. So that's it. Now, there's a couple of strategies here. The first thing I'm going to show you is so that's I've opened that project. It's not actually a family; it's a full project. So in order to get this into here, right, what we need to do is go into manage and into transfer project standards. So I'm copying from this. I'm going to check none because the only one I want is the actual roof system. PQR. So roof types. So I'm going to check that and I'll go OK, and that'll transfer in across. Now I've done this already. So I want to show you my roof here, and I'll show you what I've done, what I've added in here. Okay, so let's go into edit type. It's the Bowder Extensive Green. I put in a coarse fill scale color of green as well. And here's the various different layers. Now, what I did with these layers is I went into, say, that one there, and I put a surface pattern in here. So I put a gypsum plaster fleck in there and the green underneath in a solid here. And in the cut pattern, I put a green here as well. Now, it doesn't come with this. I've had to do this, and I'll explain to you as to why I've had to do that. So here's an 80 mil and a 40 mil layer as well. And you can see in the cut pattern, because obviously you won't see it in the surface because it's covered. Put in that, and then the corrugated boards I put in as kind of a grey layer there. Okay. And the other thing you'll notice that again, it's with the NBS families, it's coming in with all this kind of data, which is required for Kobe parameters and things like that. Okay, and so we've got other. I just want to check our not our IFC parameter. Here's our identity data. So I've got a description in here. Should give this an assembly code as well. Not an sorry, type mark here. So it's AT underscore RT for roof, and this is a 01 roof. And of course, I RT 01. That's what I'm going to call this in terms of a type mark. Right now, So there's a couple of ways we can go about this, and you can see that. Look, I've got my roof. That's why I put that kind of fleck in there. It just gives it a bit of a grassy feel more than anything else. Okay. And you will notice here as well is that I've got a parapet, right? So I created a parapet that goes around, surrounds the whole of that roof there. And I want to show you this in section now. So I'm in a section 1 here. Oh yeah, I better explain to you what I added into that roof as well before I go on. So edit type. Okay, and if you remember, there were no layers below the wrap here. So I put in a rigid thermal insulation and the 300 cast in situ here. Okay, now this is still a roof. It's technically a roof, which has different properties, obviously, to floor, whatever else. Okay, and you can see that by the colors I put in there. I get a little bit of distinguishing layer there, probably a little bit too green, but however, we'll leave that for the moment. Now, what you see here is my parapet wall. And so when I went to do this first, I thought, great, I'll do a kicker like I've done here, and I'll just increase the height of the kicker up there. It didn't work because that slab is a roof slab, it's not a floor slab. So the kicker would not join on to that. So the second option was just to do a normal wall, okay? And so that's what I've done there. You can see now I'm gone from parapet 9. I'm coming down. This is parapet 9 level here. All right, just there. My roof is in at the top there. So I've gone minus 550 off of that down to here, and then come up 4750. Now, where did I get the 4750 figure? Well, let's just bring across the PDF here of the elevation. So what I'm doing is filling in that gap there, right from the top of the frame to the parapet. So again, my understanding from Pearson Olivia is that this is kind of was designed initially as kind of a skeleton, exoskeleton frame, so it stands out in front of the building. But we're not doing that. So in that case, what I've done is I've gone from this level to this level, and that's 475. Okay. So that's my 475 there, just that gap to that gap. Now, once I have the wall in, I can increase it at any point, so that there's not particularly a problem. It's just it's a question of getting the wall in more than anything else. So that's where I came up with that figure. That's what I've got there. And you'll notice as well is that I put in that minus 550 base offset from parapet 09 level. So I brought it down because what I want is that in reality will be a continuous pour. It'll be the roof slab and that parapet slab will be poured together. And then what that does is it sets it up nicely for a capping. So whatever type of capping you decide that goes in there, and you've got a nice piece of wall here for your flashing and counter flashings. And of course, you're going to ask me about gutters and falls and things like that. We'll come to that later, but I'm laying down the basic combination of the parapet wall and the roof here. So if I go back to my 3D, you'll see that I've continued that all the way around there. Now, I had to do a little bit of repair work, a little bit of adjustments, but I want to show you what I've done and or how I did that. So I'll go back into parapet level 9. In fact, I should go into level 6 here. Yeah. So here's the green roof. All right. And I'm going to edit the footprint. And literally what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select all of those items. I'm just moving them away from the wall. Okay. So just moving them away from the wall there. And I'll finish that. Okay. Now, so that means I now can deal with what's going on here in terms of the parapet wall as such. And again, to get this absolutely right is a little bit tricky. So I think it should be finish face exterior. That's what I'm going to do. Right. So I'm going into architecture wall, and you can see I've already created this. It's a basic parapet wall. Let me show you what it is. And that's it, 300 cast in situ. All right. So I've not added anything onto that. I put in a little bit of information here, 300 internal, and then that should be external. Okay. external in situ cast. I'll call this parapet wall. EX, and this should be core. Oh man. So I'm putting in the information as we go along, and that's going to be really important. And I'm going to be really insistent on this with you, that all of your elements have to have a description, a type mark, and even an assembly code as well. So again, we go into systems here. It knows we're in walls and barrier systems. So we're in frame monolithic. I'm not quite sure. No, not that one. Framed. No. Unit walls. Stone. Concrete panel. No. I think we did have a section for concrete wall systems. Here it is here. So reinforced concrete wall structures. All right. So that's my assembly code in for that one there as well. So I've got my type mark and my description. Okay. Now, so I'm going to set this up on this basis here. So I'm going from, I think I'm going from level 6 here, right? And I'll do that unconnected. And yeah, so I'll just leave in those two figures, minus 550 and 1050, and then I will do a finish face exterior. Okay, so let's see how we get on. We'll put in, that's actually looking quite good. We'll go right over to here. Okay, and now it'll shout at me that there's boundaries being cut here or something like that. And again, I'm just going to get this in roughly. What I'll do is I'll do a section through here now, and that will tell me exactly how my wall is doing here. So escape. Let's take that section line, move it up here, and go through and see how we're doing. All right. Now, okay, so it's gone down too much here. So what is that level there? That is level 6. Okay, so let's pick this and go base offset 0. And then this should be 575, I think. So I'm not sure. Just see how it does. So it's gone up like so. Now that's a little bit higher than the other side, I think. So, but look, I'm just going to leave it there for the moment. Okay, so I'm going to select. Let's get it back into a 3D view here. Select that one. Add to the selection with this. Add the selection with that. And we'll do that same again. We'll go 0 and we'll go up here. 1575. And now, so there's my parapet gone around. You can see it is kind of bigger than this one here. So I should work out what that calculation is. They should be the same. I'm actually thinking of making this one a little bit taller. I think that's what I'll do here. So I'm there at the moment. All right. Now I will go back into level 6, and I'll choose my roof here, and I'll edit the elements. And now I'm going to align to the inside of that. This one here, align to that one. This. Okay, I think there's something wrong there. I'm going to undo both of those. So I need to pick that and edit footprint. Okay, back again. So it's the sketch lines, obviously, that I need to align here. There we go. And okay, and then the last one is down here. Okay, I'm going to have to do a little tricky stuff here. That one there. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to. That's an interesting now little conundrum there, and that's what happens here. Just going to leave that there for the moment, and I'll finish it. I'll show you. Don't attach the walls below. Okay. Right, so let's bring that um, section into here. So that's looking good there. Now you can see I'm short here, okay? But look at that wall. It is a core wall, all right, but it probably does need to be insulated, and I probably need to get a bit of direction off. And wherever I see kind of off Olivia for them, wherever I see kind of things like that, I'm going to fix them. So they're going into the underside there. And you can see that one has gone a little bit too far in here as well. So, and there you go. That one is a little bit too far out there. So I don't know whether this core wall should be insulated at all, or insulated on the outside or the inside. Now, where it penetrates from in here to the external, well, the obvious thing is that that does need to be insulated. So yeah, we'll be able to sort that out. That's not particularly a problem. Once the wall is in position, we can fix it, and then I can go in and fix the roof as well if I have to add an insulated layer into that. Okay, so here's my here's the top floor, intermediate floor, and that is that floor there again. In terms of the join in around here, I'm not quite sure. That's something that'll have to be detailed up. So that gives you a rough idea of finishing out your roofs. And again, with the caveat that this is the way I'm doing it, and you might have designed something different within your research and the skis work, consultation with the studio staff. So, but I'm giving you the techniques in terms of how you can do this. Flat roof in on top of that doesn't need to be a green roof. Green roof, it just needs to be um, probably an insulated and waterproof roof in on top of the three shaft core sections there. Of course, there's something else. So what we've got in here is as well is our plant. All right, we've got our plant, and if you remember, I can find this quickly. Yeah. Okay, that's the basement there. That's that section. Just bear with me here 1 second while I find this. No. Okay, I need to get it out. So just give me 1 sec here now, and I'll have this. It's the roof plan I'm looking for. So, yeah. So I've got 101, 301, 2. I think it's this one. Yeah, it is. All right. So let's bring this one across and show you. All right. Let's just. Now, okay, so there's a few things going on here that we need to take account of. Okay, so you can see that that's the lift overrun. The parapet seems to be continued around here, and there seems to be two different levels of parapet. So I think the way I've done it is fine on that. But here's the louvered plant zone, right? And it's not plants as in greenery, it's in all the mechanical plants, all that crack. All right, now, so that does not sit on top of the green roof, obviously. So we might have to cut out a portion of the green roof and do something different here. And again, I'm not 100% sure of the final details for that. We might be just thickening the slab up like we did before for those kind of common areas there. Or we might actually build over. So we might just continue the green roof the whole way through and put in legs with a platform here or something like that that the plant will sit on. But it does have as well, you can see that it has a louvered cladding type thing around it. So look, I'll make some inquiries with the studio team and see what they want for that. So in the meantime, what you've got is your roof more or less completed. We'll have to do a little bit of repair work, a little bit of adjustment in here, and then I'll cap off these three zones, and you're not too far off it from there. Okay.